Today we are buying quite possibly the cleanest specimen. The lineup of vehicles, there has been a mysterious L5P. We're going to enjoy our about 2.5 hour drive to Wyoming. Not sure if I'll be able to catch if it has ARP heads. Oh, look at that, baby. Probably one of the worst diesel trucks on the planet. On the side of the road. It's not broken. 100 action. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. This YouTube video is going to be a little different than others. Filmer Coley Poley is out of town on vacation, so we're taking over. We're gonna man the iPhone camera, so you guys might have to deal with a little bit less of the quality for one video. But today we are buying quite possibly the cleanest specimen of King Ranch 6.4 I've ever seen in my life. This thing is original. We're buying it from the original owner. Has a fresh motor in typical 6.4 owner fashion. It should be reliable. But we got about a 4.5 hour drive. We're at the shop, as you can see right now, and we're going to be headed to somewhere in Wyoming, kind of by Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So with that being said, we're going to round up the boys and see how far our drive is and go pick up the fresh rig. But before we go, I have an update on a couple of the other rigs. As a lot of people know, the OG steel body looking SoCal pre-runner right now. We got her a fresh setup. We got some 18-inch lariat stocks and some big-ass grippy gripper 38 1550 18 Toyo MTs. The rears have already seen a couple spin wheelies, so they're not in the best shape. But also, on top of that, not a lot of people have seen the lineup of vehicles. There has been a mysterious L5P sitting here for a few days that I have been driving for the past couple days. And a lot of people on my TikTok, if you go follow my TikTok, I'll link it down below. They've been wondering, what is this unit? Why do I have it? Why am I driving it? The dually needs a whole entire front end. My buddy that does all the front ends on my trucks took the dually. This is his personal truck, and we just decided to swap trucks for about a week. He wanted to drive the S400 dually, and I wanted to drive a just stock tune and delete L5P. That being said, we're gonna get a little cold start on this unit if it starts. Honestly, sounds pretty nasty, and this thing drives really good. A lot of people thought this was Hunter's L5P. His L5P actually got sent back to the gulag by the EPA. So, with that being said, we're going to enjoy our about 2.5 hour drive to Wyoming and go check this King Ranch out. Now, we are not bringing a trailer with us. We're just going to cross our fingers that the 6.4 Powerstroke makes its way home. With that being said, let's go to Wyoming.
AMG, Billy truck, chopping out the ghost.
All right, well, we were approximately like damn near 2.5 hours into this trip. We got 45 minutes left. We are in the middle of absolute nowhere. Now, we left at a certain time that we thought we would make it before the sun went down so we could actually look at the truck, because the last time I bought a truck in the dark, we bought quite literally the shittiest L5P in all of existence.
What did we learn, Palmer?
Luckily, I think this thing's a lot cleaner. And we're definitely going to be looking at it in the dark. As you can see, the sun is currently setting. So by the time we make it there, it's definitely going to be dark outside. But that being said, we got like 40 minutes of our drive left. And we're going to pull up and see this thing in all its beauty. And if all goes well, show you guys the new rig. All right, well, we have arrived on scene. We're in straight flatbed and ranch hand country. No idea where we're at here. Direction says that we're here, but we're quite literally just on a random road. So it's somewhere in like this direction. So we're gonna find bro's driveway and see if we can't get the first look at this unit. We were talking. Imagine we just pull up, this thing's got a flatbed, and the pictures in the ad were just pictures he took 8 years ago when he bought the truck. But anyways, we're gonna go try and locate this man's house. All right, we are pulling up to the house.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
Go pick your guys up some merch. Camo hoodies restocked, 500 of them. Once they're sold out, we're probably not bringing them back. So if you guys wanna go cop yourself a camo hoodie, link in bio. There she is in all of her beauty. The most unreliable diesel truck known to man. She looks pretty clean as of now. Bro's got a little Ranger, a Tundra. This is the country. So we're gonna get out, check this thing out, and see if we can't make a deal with this fellow and go home with a 6.4 Powerstroke.
Gay!
All right, well, we are in the rig on the side of the road. It's not broken. Now, this is a very cherry unit. There's a couple things to point out here. Let me open the door and show you. This is the most grandpa spec of 6.4 ever. This is what you want. We have factory LED running boards, and look at these freaking seats. There's no tears, not really any wear. Braxton's over there just shitting his pants on how clean this thing is, but exterior or other back interior seats are absolutely mint. And like, look at the carpet on this hog.
Bro, he's never had anything in the center console.
There's no way.
No.
Thoughts?
Fire.
Dude, and if you take a nice gander, he has the paw floor mats, but the OG King Ranch floor mats beneath it, and it is clean. But we're gonna hit the moment of truth here. Make sure this motor isn't blowing, and also he had a bunch of work done to this thing in like the last probably, I think 6 months. He's dropped like 13 grand on this thing with like fuel pump, new bottom end. He said, obviously when you redo the bottom end, you have to either put new factory head bolts. We're hoping that we pop this hood and find head studs under there. That'd be a huge plus, so we're gonna find out. And pop her on open. Gotta hit the, for sure gotta hit the, make sure she ain't blowing no by. Oh yeah, this is just cherry. That is what you wanna see right there. Now, I'm not sure if I'll be able to catch if it has ARP heads. Oh, look at that, baby. That right there is what you want to see. That right there, ladies and gentlemen. That is an ARP head stud. This thing is indeed studded. There is a couple things on the truck that do kind of suck that I'm going to walk you through. The hood is pretty faded. That does not matter to me though, because I want to put a cowl hood on it anyways. But if you go down, kind of some of the paint on the truck is not great. This door handle's good, but as you can see, this one doesn't have it. Right here though, you can see the clear coat is starting to peel on some places. Right here in the door handle as well. A big one is all the way down this bedside. As you can see right here, the clear coat has kind of chipped off. The tailgate has a lot of dents, which doesn't matter. I want to I have a whole plan for the tailgate that I'd get a whole new one anyways. Rear bumper is pretty shot. And then as well on this side, as you can see, there is a little bit more. This bedside doesn't really have the clear coat problems like that side does, but there is quite a few spots here and there. You can see it starting right there. But all in all, very clean unit, runs very strong. So that being said, I think we are going to go give this man his check. It is absolutely cold as hell out here, but just look at this cherry interior. She's also,
There's been nothing in that center console.
bro, is so hard right now.
The passenger seat. Oh, passenger. It says
Oh,
passenger
yeah.
ejection seat.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Well, here she is. We got the title to the rig. Introducing my 2010 6.4 Powerstroke. Now, arguably one of the worst diesel trucks on the planet, but we're about to turn this thing into an absolute rig. She is already leveled. I'm thinking we take our 3-hour road trip home, pull up to the shop, do a little grandpa step delete, and slap this thing on some 2414s until she goes to paint. So that being said, we're about to get ourselves some essentials from an unknown, not named gas station, and road trip this puppy home, slap some wheels on her.
AMG, Billy truck, trapping out the ghost.
All right, well, we have now made it back to the shop. Figured I'd show you guys this thing under the lights in its true beauty. Now, obviously, as I mentioned before, the back bumper is completely donezo. I do have a plan for the tailgate. Now, my plan is to get a 13 to 16 steel body tailgate. that is a platinum one because, hear me out here, I have a platinum plaque that I marketplace found a while ago. Like I said, I've been hunting for one of these trucks for a minute, so I have acquired quite a few parts already. Now, my plan here is take this said platy tailgate, and it doesn't say platinum on it, so probably take it, I believe it goes this way, so probably put King Ranch on it right there, so it's then a more resto kind of King Ranch tailgate look. I think I am going to do an OEM rear bumper to replace it instead of a roll pan. Roll pans, in my opinion, don't look super good on these trucks, especially with what we're doing with the two-tone. Now, addressing some of the clear coat problems right here, as well as right here on the door. Now that it is in the shop, they look a lot less bad than they did. As you can see, the paint needs probably a pretty good buff, but I'm not a big fan of the tan two-tone that is on the truck. So I do have a plan to, again, kind of bring it up to date, which is delete all of this tan two-tone and replace it with the caribou brown two-tone that comes on the 11 and up King Ranches usually, which pretty much it is just a darker brown. I have had the same color on the lot of my trucks, but probably going to pull the grandpa steps off, obviously fully paint match it, probably a cowl hood, and we'll get into what we're doing in the motor as we dive more into this truck, but it is already studded. But the real question here, we got to get these moto metals off here because they look like absolute trash. There's a few different setups we could throw on this thing. One being, while we were gone, B-Rock took these in on trade. These are 2414 American Force Nemesis on some 33 1450s. Very good looking wheel. Not sure if this thing will clear them though. It is raking a little bit as well. The other option that we have is this guy right here. These are 2414 Hardcore Forge Maniacs, but we will get to what we're throwing on in a second. The homie Alma with the matching truck to this, I believe just barely pulled up. So we're gonna pop the garage door, put these two side by side, and kind of give a rundown on both and some more plans. Homie Alma just pulled up, and he literally has the matching truck to mine, just a lot cleaner version. This thing's on 2412s, reverse leveled. As you can probably hear, she's got a little bit of a spice to her, a little S400 action. One day mine will sound that cool, but as you can see, this unit is fully paint matched. It's got some Alpha Rex heads, a 22 style front bumper, which on mine, I am debating whether I want to do a 22 style, like platinum bumper, or if I want to do, some people have done the 23 and up Super Duty bumpers. There's a lot of directions we can go with this thing, which is where I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys want to see out of this rig? What should we do to this rig? And with that being said, I think we're actually going to throw this thing on some 20-inch platinum stocks and some 35s. I feel like with how grandpa this truck is right now, throwing 2414s on it would not be the move. So that being said, we're going to grab them out of the trailer and toss on these 20-inch platy stocks that I'll show you here in a second. First things first, we're going to take off these paw ass steps, which should just be like 4 or 5 bolts underneath. And obviously we have to disconnect the electrical because these do have OEM lights, which is pretty cool. We're going to throw on this super clean set of 20-inch 17 to 22 platy stocks on some 35s. Should clear them just fine and kind of clean up the whole look of this rig. So that being said, cue the... Well, there's no cinematic edit to be done here because Cole's gone, so I guess cue the time lapse. You can see these steps are all deleted, as well as probably about 5 pounds of mud on each side, also deleted, but this thing's looking much better. Next step, we gotta get these ugly moto metals off here. So again, cue the time lapse because Cole's not here to give us a badass cinematic edit. All right, well, the Pilates stocks and the steps have been deleted. This thing looks a whole lot better. Had to get the modal metals off there. She is a pop-out rig, but steps being deleted is a big step, as well as having an actual decent looking set of wheels on there. Also, while I was pulling the steps off, was underneath. Let me get underneath here. You can see we have an Air Dog fuel pump, so that makes it nice. Don't have to get one of those. It's pretty much down the road. All we got to do is slap an S400 on it. But with that being said, let me know what content, what mods you guys want to see me do on the 6.4 Powerstroke. With that being said, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.